All right, here's the deal. A woman on TikTok is going viral saying she fell in love with her psychiatrist. And here is the interesting part. He did not cross the line, not once. He kept it professional. He kept all the boundaries. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
I fell in love with my psychiatrist and he knew that, and he kept me for years as a patient until I was brave enough to leave him.
As a psychiatrist myself, I want to break it down. The power dynamics, the feelings, the rejection, why public is backlashing, and yes, the role race and privilege might be playing, and how this whole thing even started. Because trust me, it is deeper than it looks.
And then I start emailing him my fun little emails, but he stops writing me back. He does not write back to my emails anymore. Because once again, he was really good at plausible deniability. But what he did do is he would take my emails and mention them in session. So he would still give me the attention that I was craving, but only under his structure, under his control, where there was no paper trail. And I loved that too.
She posted a video saying she developed feeling for her psychiatrist, which by the way is not uncommon. She told him, and his response, professional. No flirting, no indulging, no crossing the line. He redirected her, contained the moment, stayed in the frame. That's good psychiatry. But she didn't like the rejection. And instead of working through it in therapy, she's now working through it on TikTok. With millions and millions of people watching, she is the most viral topic currently on TikTok, and she's making so much content. She has made this a 21-part series. She's going live every night.
What boundaries did he cross? He started letting me stay late. He would tell me that he hold on, let me pull up the list. He just mostly the compliments. See, this is the hard thing. You guys are asking me this, but it's this is the hard thing about sophisticated predators, is their manipulation is so nuanced. It's so nuanced. You can say that it's nothing, but whatever.
That's what happened when the court of public opinion shows up. Here is the thing. Psychiatrists and really any other mental health professionals hold power. We meet people at their most emotionally raw state, when they are most vulnerable. We listen without judgment. We make them feel safe. And for someone who never felt that kind of safety, it can feel addictive. But the relationship is one way. It's not a friendship, it's not romance. The patient shares and the psychiatrist holds the space.
So this is when the chemistry really started going off the charts with me and my psychiatrist, and I held it alone for months.
And when romantic feelings show up, which they do, our job as mental health professionals or psychiatrists isn't to match that energy. Our job is to protect that space. That doesn't mean we don't feel anything. We do. He might have felt compassion, maybe sadness, because he knew this would sting for her. He might have replayed this in his head, wondering, did I handle it right? But what a psychiatrist or mental health professional need to do is to feel the emotions, but still choose to contain the space without reacting. And for her, this probably felt devastating. She trusted him, felt safe with him, maybe for the first time in her life. And those feelings got fused with what she thought was love. The kind of love that says, you see me, you make me feel whole.
He really started letting me in more and showing more parts of himself and, turning up the intimacy. And that was exciting to me, and it made me fall for him more.
So when he didn't reciprocate her feelings, it probably put salt in her old wounds of abandonment, humiliation. And instead of exploring that in therapy, she brought it to an audience that doesn't get the nuance of therapy. There is another layer here people are missing. She's white, he is brown, he is from Pakistan. And in this country, that matters, especially in medicine, especially in psychiatry. Because history tells us the weaponization of white femininity against men of color is real. Even if she didn't mean any harm, her story taps into something loaded. It feeds the suspicion he may have done something wrong. He must have done something wrong. I want to be clear that we are not blaming her. We are pointing out how it lands socially. And TikTok is never neutral. Once it went viral, it wasn't only about therapy alone. It became about drama, projection, outrage. People who've never set foot in a therapy room are now saying, he used his power. He must have led her on, even though it is a minority, but there are a lot of people on her side too. She gets a lot of like, and all of us, whether we believe her story or not, we are invested. Most of the time, what happened is that viewers on TikTok, they are just projecting their own stories to a viral creator, their own fantasies about therapists, about their own wounds. This isn't a courtroom, it's an algorithm, and outrage, comments, likes, controversy is good for business. What she experienced with that psychiatrist has a name, and it's called transference. That's when feelings from earlier relationships, often from childhood, get projected onto your therapist. It feels real. It feels intense. But it is not actually about them. And on the psychiatrist or therapist side, we have counter-transference. We feel things too. And that's why good psychiatrists also go to therapy, get supervision, and stay grounded. So they can hold that space, that container of therapy safely for the client. Because our job is not to react, it is to hold. A lot of psychiatrists actually do therapy in their sessions. That is another misconception. But a lot of psychiatrists do incorporate some therapy in their medication management session. That's what I think that psychiatrist was doing, because his sessions were 30 minutes long. He was trying to show her, most probably, he was trying to show her parts of herself gently, maybe holding a mirror. And maybe she wasn't ready for it. Now the mirror is shattered and the pieces are all over TikTok. Here is my take on it as a psychiatrist. He did his job, he respected the boundary. She was hurt. I believe that. But that pain belonged in the therapy room, not on the internet. Now he's being punished for doing the right thing. If you've ever fallen for your therapist, just understand you're not broken, you're just human. And healing doesn't come from your therapist or psychiatrist rescuing you. It comes from reflection. It comes from your psychiatrist or your therapist gently showing you parts of yourself that you haven't seen, showing you your blind spots. Again, gently in a safe space. The purpose of therapy is for you to understand yourself. The purpose of therapy is not for the therapist or psychiatrist to tell you what's wrong with you. And a lot of people just don't understand this part. On TikTok, she has been saying, this is my story and I have every right to share my story. And yes, you do, Kendra. But where is the line between telling your story and smearing someone else's? And what happens when we turn real therapy into content?